this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about diversification. And I'm talking about that in line with a new system I've been studying about how to understand the stock market. Because the stock market is a place that everybody should be investing some money in. And first of all, you have to understand how that process works. I know this actually has been my second month of ever even considering investing in the stock market. But guess what? This week, actually on the 25th of June, I bought my first stock ever. And it was kind of exciting. And I did it from an online app. I didn't have to go to E-Trade or any of those that you can go to, Ameritrade, all those you have access to also. But guess what? Now they have an app for that. Actually, there's 2 or 3 apps for that I know about, but I actually use 2. But one of those I've been sharing with you guys is called Acorn. If you've got a chance to get that email or you've gotten a chance to see that on some of the places I've posted, take a look inside of that. I think it's a great process for people just like myself who knew very little, if anything at all, about the stock market. But I wanted to put some money someplace that the money could grow, right? And if I put money in a savings, that money's not growing. Oh, no, that money's not growing. Not in comparison to how quickly it can grow when you invest that money in something. Because when you invest that money in something, what that allows to happen is that money to grow. It's like interest. Think about interest. If you go to a bank and ask, let's say you get a $5,000 loan, there's going to be interest on that money, which means the bank is making money on loaning you that money. So that money is making money, right? So you want to position your money so that it begins to make money as well. And one of those ways to do that in the stock market is to do what they call diversify. And one of the ways you can buy a stock that's already diversified is through a system called ETF, which is exchange traded funds. And the way that works, it's like, if you can wrap your mind around this analogy, it's like having a pot of soup with tomatoes, carrots, onions, peppers, just a variety of ingredients. Those ingredients are different stocks like Microsoft, AT&T, Google, just whatever stocks that they have in that specific ETF. Now, when you take a ladle or a spoon and dip it in there and get a spoonful, you have a combination of all those stocks. That is what I bought. I bought that ladle full of one stock that contains all those different stocks, little small ingredients of it, like maybe 10% of it, 25% of it, right? But at the same time, that's investing, and it's allowing that process to increase. And I can add money to that account anytime I want to that will buy more of those stocks, more of those shares, right? And I don't have to watch it on a regular basis because I don't believe in that type of investment. All I have to do is just buy and hold. Now, I like to go through from time to time and see what it's doing and how well it's done, or, the market, how it's moving, because that's part of the process of learning the stock market. Understand this. It's not just investing money. You also have to invest your knowledge. You also have to take your knowledge level up a notch or two, right? And the only way you can do that is by, entering the game the way the game is played, which is you have to read some things from time to time so that you know what's actually going on with that company that you invested in, right? And the stock market moves up or down based on information. So when the information is shared, like say the president says something derogatory, or let's say that there's a threat of war or whatever the situation may be, that moves the stock market. And if you're a day trader, which are people who, I think is not a good fit for me because it's volatile. The market is up and down. You can make a lot of money, but you can lose a lot of money really quickly also. So that's not for me, and that's not the information I want to share with anybody that's listening to me about the stock market. But I'll never tell you the type of stocks to buy or the type of stocks I bought. But I will say that, it's advantageous to everyone to invest into the stock markets. First, invest a little time. gain a little bit of knowledge and get comfortable with the idea, and before long you'll take the plunge, because you can do it with those online apps that I shared, Acorn and Stash. There's another one called Robinhood, but I'm on Acorn and Stash. If you go to those apps and just download them, it allows you to actually, I think Acorn allows you to invest your extra change. Like if you go to a Walmart, you buy something that costs $12.75, it allows you to take that 25 cents and round up. They call it rounding up to the next dollar, and you'll invest that 25 cents into those stocks that you bought previously. Remember I told you about that scenario with the pot of soup, and that will continue to increase your worth or your value in that stock. Not only that, but that money is growing. That money is not just sitting in a bank making 2 or 3% interest or 1.5% interest. That money is growing, and you're able to monitor it, and you're able to learn more about who actually own those stocks that you buy. The company that you bought, you want to know who the owners are. You want to know, what their personality is, and because that's your money. So if they're not what you call, trustworthy, or they have issues, or lawsuits, or whatever case is going on in their world, you want to kind of know about that if you can, right? Because that has an effect on your investment. All that's information, right? So listen, I hope you enjoyed that quick video, but it's just something I wanted to share because of the knowledge that I've gained, and I got the opportunity to buy my first stock. So now I'm in the game, and there's more. I actually bought stock on both of the apps that I signed up with, and you can too. And I can show you how. SpeakWithLarry.com.